Hey guys, how's it going? Psychomagic Films here, and I'm here with David Crazy Englishman,
Hey guys.
and we're gonna talk Halloween Hornets Hollywood 2015. So we have several topics in mind. We're gonna talk about some things. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. Um, there was a change of plans. Um, so like at first we were gonna have uh, Red still with us here, Aaron, and we were gonna have a special guest, but yeah, that didn't go. That fell through. So hopefully we get that set up down the road again, and we go with it. But yeah, just right now, just gonna be David and I. So yeah, yeah, before we start, yeah, if you guys have any questions, any comments that you would like to share with us, please leave them in a comment below in the description box, and we'll be monitoring the YouTube page. So yeah. Okay, so let's begin, shall we?
Let's do this.
All right. Okay, so the first topic is a theme change for the Terror Tram with Murdy working on the nighttime studio tour. He's doing that. I think he's recently been over at the Psycho House. He's
Yeah.
been working on some stuff there. So, what do you think that this could mean for the Terror Tram now in the future, or this year maybe?
I to be fair, I think this could open up a new area. Um because th- knowing where the Court of Miracles is, where he spent a lot of time, either that's going to be kind of included in the VIP, the RIP tour this year, or it might even be added on as a possible extension to the Terror Tram. Um, I think the foremost is the most likely, um, but I think him working on the back a lot more of the back lot. I'm kind of inclined to believe that may just be for the regular nighttime tram tours. And in fact, I'd be interested to see how those are affected with Horror Nights going off, whether they just stop that or as an alternative tram.
Hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Um, you think the layout would change kind of, or like a
Yeah,
different route?
I'd like to. Yeah, I've been thinking about that, and to be fair, I think there's a chance it may change the layout. Not drastically, but I do think that there's a possibility for an extension on its route. Over the years, the TerraTram very subtly, has kind of changed its route, and like a few years prior to the 2013 event, they used to go all the way around the Bates Motel, go around the back area, then come inside of it. Nowadays, they just take the shortcut and just cut through that kind of center part of Bates Motel. And I'd like to think that with they obviously they do look at the surveys, and a lot of people do talk about the terror tram, but I think John has seen a lot of people talking about how they kind of want to see it change up a little bit, kind of change up the route, because to be fair, it's kind of gotten very predictable. And what's the route? I mean, no matter what theme they do, I mean, I know that route like the back of my hand. So I'd like to think that they change it up a little bit, but I guess we'll see. The closer we get to the event, maybe they'll shed more information on that.
Yeah, I'm interested to seeing what they're gonna do with the Psycho House as well as that area they're doing with Frankenstein. That
Yeah,
should
the
be really
Court of
cool.
Miracles.
Hmm. So hopefully do something really cool. Maybe something exclusive for HHN
Yeah,
that they won't do normally.
yeah. I think I mean, the Court of Miracles would be really cool to see, and but the Psycho House, I would think, would probably be still a photo opportunity, like it's been for the past years. But I'd like to see maybe like a mini show, something to make that a bit more appealing. It used to be that right next to the Psycho House, they used to have this major maze. They actually you had to go through it. I remember back in, I think it was 2008, when they had Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That whole area was like a different route. Like you could take different routes. It would all end up the same place, but it would have different areas and that, and Leatherface would come out. I'd like to see more of that. Definitely break up the Terror Tram a little bit, because as long as it takes to get to the actual route, it just it's a very short attraction. I think there needs to be more to kind of break up the crowds a little bit and kind of make the Terror Tram more appealing again.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, of course, I've never been to the event over there, but from what I've seen in the videos, yeah, it's just like pretty much the same route almost all the time, and it's like with The Walking Dead, even like these past what 3 years now.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been
it's just been like the pretty much the same with tweaks, of course, but
yeah.
so it'll be nice to see something new. Oh
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I liked The Walking Dead for 2012 when it first started in 2013, because it made sense. It kind of took the environments of Universal and put them in a zombie apocalypse in the form of The Walking Dead. So that was really cool because they actually felt immersive. It felt like this could happen. There were zombies on the backlot. But I think people have, I mean, like the Mays, have had their fill of The Walking Dead, and I think it just needs a new theme now, new paint, coats of paint, as it were, to make it more appealing. Because I think a lot of people nowadays are actually avoiding the Terror Tram, or they do it because it's just there, which is a shame because it actually has its moments. It's been really good in some years, so I'd like to see it kind of come back in full force, especially for the anniversary. I'd like to see some really cool stuff this year when I go.
yeah, I'll be interested to see what they're gonna bring this year to both coasts, like in their own
Yeah.
ways. It's gonna be so cool. But yeah. Okay. You have anything else to say on the tram, or should we move on to the next?
Um, not not too much. No. Just basically what I've said. I think it just needs a fresh coat of paint. Maybe a little bit of a route change. I mean, it doesn't have to be very drastic, but kind of change up the route a little bit. In fairness to Universal, though, they are limited on where they could take the guests, so we'll see. I'd like to see something kind of change with it.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the next point is a possible express tram for Fast and Furious Supercharged.
Hmm.
What do you think on that, David?
To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did that. They did that a couple years back. I believe it might have been 2012 for King Kong. So to have that, it would be good on both parts because one, it would give the guests something new to experience as well. I mean, it's not horror related, but it's there. It's another attraction. A lot of people do end up doing the rides like The Simpsons and Transformers. But also, when King Kong was open, it actually did alleviate some of the crowd control problems. So I think when Fast and Furious opens, I think if they do use it for Horror Nights and have that special tram to go to it, I'm all for it. I think it'll be, and I think it is a high possibility because with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter taking up a lot of space, I think they need to think of crowd control a little bit more seriously this year. Not saying that they haven't in the past years, but more so now that we've got less space to use. I think opening a tram straight to the Fast and Furious just for that attraction would be a great idea. A lot of people do go to are big Fast and the Furious fans, and I think a lot of them that go to Horror Nights would be attracted to go on there. So there's definitely an audience for it.
Yeah. Okay. That ride looks really cool. Fast and Furious.
It does. I'm not even a fan of
Did
it.
you see that behind the scenes video of it?
Yeah.
Looks so cool.
They're getting pretty good. I mean, they're making the tram tour very, I mean, more like a ride as well as a tour now. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. So I'm really excited to see what it's like.
Yeah, definitely. Is it kind of is it gonna have like huge screens on like the like kind of like King Kong in a way, like 360?
Yeah.
Kinda
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. Yeah.
like okay, cool, cool.
Emperor just said as a follow up to the Terror Tram. But if you could have another theme for the Terror Tram, what would it be? Um, that is a good question. I know I kind of want to see uh, either Jason, kind of a Jason based, like especially in some parts where because they used to have a campsite and they did have Freddy in some parts. But more, they did this for the VIP a few years back, but I would kind of like to see Insidious with ghosts or something like that, or
Ooh,
some kind of
yeah,
supernatural theme to it.
yeah, it'll be really cool. Because remember in 20, what's the first year that La Llorona was there? 2010,
Uh, 20, yes, it was. I believe.
the Scare Zone. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, because 20. It might have been 2011. Yes, 2010 had the scare zone. 2011 was the first year that they had the maze.
Okay. Um, and they had a part in the Terror Tram. They had a part with La Llorona in there. I forget
Yeah,
what specific area, but yeah,
yeah,
that would be really cool, like a supernatural, paranormal, ghost theme to it, and where like
something
the
very
backlot's
eerie.
haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of, and that works for the theme as well. I mean, um, Universal Hollywood, I believe, is celebrating its 60th. No, it's something else. Um, how old the actual studio is, it would work like different era ghosts. I mean, you could have there's an episode of Supernatural where Sam and Dean actually go to like well, it's their version of Hollywood, and there's different ghosts that attack, but they're from different eras. Like there's a actress that hung herself. There's a tech guy that got killed by a spinning fan. So there's a lot you could do that kind of thing. Just play with Hollywood's history a little bit. You've even got that pilot that died during a stunt show for the opening of Universal. So I mean, there's a lot you could do with that.
Oh yeah. True. True. I think I've seen Murdy talk about this. I forget the name. Maybe you can. Maybe you know it. Um, some kind of not a like some sort of like either like a monster that like hides somewhere in the back lots of. I mean,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah.
they can do something with that maybe.
Yeah, I think it's their version of Bigfoot essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's there is a name for it, and I feel bad because I do know it, and it's back in my head. I mean, obviously, the log bunny is one of the biggest little Easter eggs that John likes putting on the back lot every year. But yeah, there is a name for it. But yeah, it's kind of like this monster that lives on the back lot. He hasn't been seen in a while though. They haven't really posted him out there.
Hmm, okay. Um, yeah, like that'll be interesting with the tram and everything. Okay, so you want to move on to the next point?
Sure.
Okay, so the next thing is that new code name game 2.0. Let me bring up the see if I can find the the hints. But I think what was it that like? Do you know what? Do you have any ideas like what that could be for or?
Um,
You
I
know?
mean, obviously, the one that really comes to mind is American Horror Story. I know, I know some people are going to be sighing about it, but and I don't think it would be that obvious. But saying that, it could also be a misdirection. I mean, there's that episode in season two with Jessica Lange called "The Name Game," and they do the name game song, and it's prevalent in that series. But um, otherwise it's kind of difficult to kind of decipher that one because there's a lot it could be and there's a lot it couldn't at the same time. So, but American Horror Story just sticks out like a sore thumb because it's right there. But again, I mean, it could be too obvious that they wouldn't do that. But that's kind of the kind of carny way that John likes messing with the fans.
Oh yeah, dude. Like his code names have so many layers to them.
Yeah, I know.
So you can go in so many directions. It's insane. Like like over here in Orlando, we have Dr. Jamie, but like,
We don't
and
we don't need a another YouTuber to like twist like give out clues like that. We have John. John himself literally does that.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
He is such a troll.
I know. Then he's like, oh, there could be a red herring.
Oh, this one of these clues is maybe or may not actually be part of this. I'm like, God damn it, John, you're making this a lot harder than it needs to be.
He's like, screw you guys.
Screw you.
You're never gonna figure this out.
And you know what? He's right half the time because there's so many layers to his hints. I mean, there's only so much we can really guess about them. I've had one year where I've tried to decipher. I'm like, okay, this is really good. I think I've got this. And then he comes up with a maze. I'm like, that is totally left field to what I was actually thinking. God damn it, John. No, I enjoy his trolling, but it's so frustrating at the same time.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely, dude. Oh my! I remember last year, like when he posted what the hint was and what it led to and everything. I was like, "Are you serious?" It was the Walking Dead one,
Yeah,
where it's like it was like it was the Pac-Man video game, and then I think Pac-Man himself says Waka Waka Waka, so
yeah,
like, Waka Walker, and kind of
yeah.
stuff like that.
I thought that
Like
was so.
seriously.
Oh God, I'm like. At the same time, now I know what it is. It's like, oh, that's so obvious. God damn it, John.
Like,
Oh,
oh man,
oh my God.
crazy.
Oh, did you? Emperor just posted. Didn't you guys hear Dr. Jimmy isn't doing cryptic stuff anymore?
Yeah, he's
He isn't.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
retired.
yeah. He he pretty much post like he did a rant before that, but then he pretty much straight out said like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do any more cryptic performances or cryptic comments or anything like that
Yeah,
due to the leak that happened."
that's really messed up a lot
Oh,
of
I know,
people.
dude. So I mean,
That's a shame because I enjoy Dr. Jimmy's videos.
me too. Yeah. Um, and he pretty much said that he's gonna tell the people that he knows that tell him stuff. He's gonna tell them that not to say anything to him because he wants to be
Surprise.
surprised. He wants to feel that anticipation, that build up of excitement to the
Yeah,
announcements and everything, which I 100% agree with him.
yeah, I agree.
Because these past few years, like I think this year has been the worst because it hasn't only been the houses, but the scare zones as well.
Yeah,
Um, so it's like, wow, that's really unfortunate, especially for people that want to be surprised.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like I definitely understand him. I miss that feeling of waiting. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. They're gonna reveal a new maze.
yeah.
Last time I felt that was in 2011. like in the end of August when they revealed the website for HSN 21. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome! Seeing the whole website and the houses and like it was just so cool.
That still gets me excited, even for Hollywood. Every time Hollywood did that, and it's just, oh my gosh. I mean, even this year, I'm really excited. Now that I know, like, I'm actually going this year, I'll be able to fly out this year for it. I'm really excited now. Like, even more so, just like, oh, what are we gonna get? When are we gonna get? So I mean, that will come later, like, which maze is probably related, but I mean, oh man, it's just exciting to know that it's coming, that they're gonna be revealing them one by one. And I feel bad for the Orlando fans because I mean, that sucks. That I mean, yeah, it's great. I mean, we don't want to dwell too much on the league. I mean, obviously, what's said has been said, but
Yeah,
that sucks because that sucks out the fun of knowing. I mean, yeah, you know what's coming now, but like that just sucks out the fun of like waiting for the final announcement and then just go, oh yeah, this is so cool. But
yeah, definitely.
that's sad to hear that Jimmy's stopping his videos.
Yeah, because like if it like now that he's not doing his videos anymore, that's gonna take a huge hit on not only updating but speculation,
Yeah,
like the season of it, how long we usually do that. That's gonna take a hit big time.
yeah.
So yeah,
It's gonna be a lot harder. It's gonna be Hollywood. It's basically
pretty much.
returning to Hollywood.
No, I'm telling you now. Like next year, we're pretty much gonna be focused on. I mean, maybe there's gonna be some changes here and there. I mean, kind of wish now that maybe in the future, hopefully, ILO starts posting more, like more
Yeah,
code names and stuff like that. Because he's only posted two so far.
yeah,
Which Murdy has posted three or two. I think three so far.
yeah. He has.
Okay, so if ILO keeps on doing that, that'll be great. We'll have something to talk about for Orlando. But as far as you know, speculating on like what Dr. Jimmy's saying, like, oh, what could this be? A house or a scare zone? What's going to be the theme? What's going to be the story behind it?
Yeah,
That's out of that's gone down the toilet. That's out of the way.
yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but oh well. Okay, so yeah, that name game. That name game thing. Let me see. Could be. I don't know. Yeah, could be many things. I'll just leave it at that.
It's a very difficult. I mean, like we said, I mean, John likes to kind of like, oh, this is obvious. Wait, no, it's not. Oh, and sometimes it's like, oh, you're thinking too hard about it. Wait, it's quite obvious.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to find his post on the freaking code name. Yeah, he talks about Broadway and stuff like that. You know what? Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. Too much. But yeah. Okay. So the next point is that there is a rumor that Hollywood is looking for show alternatives. Obviously, what happened in back like 2 years ago, I think it was, with Bill and
Yeah.
Ted. So they're probably gonna look for, yeah. I mean, that'll be good because the shows, at least having one show, it does have a
We've had
little.
terrible luck with shows to be to be fair. No, I'm being serious. I mean, we had Slaughter World that got canned. We got Chucky's Insult Emporium, which was amazing, and that got canned. And then we finally got, well, we've had Bill and Ted for a long time, and then that got canned. We have the worst luck with freaking shows, man. It's not even funny. So it wouldn't surprise me if Universal was trying to look for alternatives for shows. And I think if they did, they'll probably be a little more cautious maybe a bit more safety first when it comes to shows, because I don't think they'd want a repeat of what happened with Bill and Ted. Not that it was their fault, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were trying to get something new to fill that gap. And to be fair, I kind of want them to, so so it alleviates the guests a little bit. Like they can go sit down the shows, and then the mazes are a little bit more alleviated uh, from backtracking on a lot of the traffic that it will get.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, like you said, it does alleviate a little bit. So especially with the crowding over there in Hollywood, from what I've
It gets
seen.
ridiculous, mate.
Yeah, crazy. So I mean,
Yeah.
they've done Rocky Horror before. Do you think that they'll bring that back?
I actually didn't do that because my philosophy for doing Horror Nights is I pay for the mazes, I go do the mazes. So I haven't personally done it. A few friends have. It wouldn't surprise, and from what I've heard, it's quite popular. So I could see that coming back. I know that that show was a limited run. It wasn't meant to continue year after year, but they've had it in the past as well. So I could see that coming back as a temporary fill-in for like Bill and Ted and that. So yeah, I could see that coming back.
Hmm. Do you think that they'll ever um, make like an original show, perhaps?
I'd
Like
like to think
Orlando?
I'd like to think that they would. There's a lot of potential with using Horror Nights as using dark horror in that kind of show environment. Kind of like Orlando had the horror makeup show. I'd like to see something like that in
That'll be
Hollywood.
cool.
So yeah, I'd like to think that they would come up with something original, and it will definitely draw in some crowds just curious enough to see it. And the cool thing is with a concept like for example, if you did something similar to like a makeup show or monster effects show, you could change it up every year for different creatures and stuff like that. So I'd like to see something like that. To be fair.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. That'll be really interesting. Hmm.
But like I said, for shows, I mean, I mostly go for the mazes. I let the shows do their work at trying to attract people away from the mazes, so I can get there and basically get through the line. Without a show, walking like for big mazes like The Walking Dead got up to I believe 4 hours wait, and when you're spending that much time in the park it sucks up all that time to do everything else. So there needs to be kind of distraction of events around around the park to kind of take away from the traffic of mazes.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely, they really should look into doing that. Something, whatever. Um, as for like Walking Dead, like, do you think that they'll do? I'm thinking they'll do it. They'll do the terror tram again on Walking Dead. Do you think they'll do like a scare zone again? The backlot.
I know about it.
No,
It's
Marty,
like
stop, stop.
it's like they're waterboarding us with The Walking Dead. We get it. You love The Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead. I'm starting to get sick of it now. Yeah, I kind of see. I think they're gonna probably do it for the backlot tour again. No, I don't want to see it again, but I'm pretty sure that they will. I mean, just saying that if they did Resident Evil, that would be a cool thing to see on the backlot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, yeah, it would have zombies, but you'd have variety of stuff like zombie dogs and stuff like that. Nemesis may be walking around, maybe better this time. But I will never forgive Universal for making him look really derpy in the Orlando attraction. They just
just look like
It just looked like a rubber Halloween mask. It didn't look
Horrible.
professional whatsoever.
It's just horrible. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at Japan's like Halloween Horror Nights in Japan, and I saw that Resident Evil scare zone, that huge Resident Evil scare zone that they have over there, which is amazing. With the
Yeah.
protection mapping on the buildings, looks like Raccoon City.
Yeah.
And then they have freaking Nemesis. It looks straight off from like, yeah, the movies or the games per se. Looks amazing. The costumes so authentic, so well made. And then I go into that maze for the first time. I look at Nemesis up there. I'm like, what the hell? What happened here?
It looks like
Who made
Sloth
this?
from the Goonies.
Who made this?
Oh.
Oh my gosh. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
But I'd like. This is again wishful thinking, but I know they're gonna probably do The Walking Dead as a backlot thing. I mean, it's easy to do. That's the thing. They don't have to spend too much money on it.
That's true, yeah.
I kind of want to see something like freaking Evil Dead, like with the Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, with in the comic The Nightmare Warriors, where the city's just overrun with Deadites and Jason and Freddy and that. I want to see something like that. That'd be friggin' sick.
That would be. Ooh, I like that idea.
And they've had Evil Dead before. I mean, you don't necessarily need the Ash character, but use the Deadite concept, possess people and monsters and undead soldiers and that. And
Right.
then have Jason and Freddy in the backlot.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if we get to share Freddy versus Jason this year, because that'd be great.
Oh yeah. Definitely. That'll be so cool. I really think that Scream should be the Terror Champ again. Just kidding.
No, no, Scream. Oh god,
Look, listen, I'm surprised that they didn't do a Scream maze. Like they did, okay, they did the Terror Tram
yeah,
and they did the Scare Zone. I like the idea, the concept behind the Terror Tram, where like they're filming the next Stab movie, and then
Yeah,
Ghostface is
Stab.
running around the whole place. That was cool. I like that idea, but
so did I.
yeah, like from what you've said, and like from in my uh, position, like from seeing the videos, it's like
I
kind
believe
of
Sharp.
lame.
If anyone's curious, who's watching the podcast, Sharp Productions has a really good backlot tour video of it, and you can probably see it for yourself. It's just god awful. The video that they did for the Terror Tram was really cool, though. When I first got on there, I really enjoyed the video, but when I actually got to experience it, it was just like, oh yeah, it's basically the Terror Tram with a few zombies, with Scream, with Ghostface running around. That's okay. It just wasn't scary. And the real reason they got rid of that metal kind of mini maze is not necessarily because it wasn't scary. It was because it was holding up a lot of people that were getting backlogged in there.
Well,
So to keep people moving, they got rid of the maze, which I
damn.
didn't get to experience, which was a shame because I wanted to see what that was like.
Yeah, that looked cool. Like,
It was,
I think at first it was right in front of the Bates Motel, and then they moved it. I think.
yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
They moved it to the top, and then they finally just said, you know what, let's just get rid of it. Like, it's not working. I don't believe it was doing as well as they thought it would. So, but yeah, I'm actually surprised we didn't get a Ghostface maze that year. We got a repeat maze. We got what was it? We got House of a Thousand Corpses repeated that year, and I'm really surprised that they didn't utilize Scream when they did.
Yeah, that was like weird because this. Okay, like tell like what was your experience in the scare zone? Like in that scare zone that they had at the front entrance. Like they had the Ghostface um, statue, right? And there was an actor. But what else did they? And they had the lights and stuff. But what else did they have in there?
That was it, mate. That was literally it.
Are you serious?
You walked in and you had the classic Universal director, producer, cameraman statue that's always in the park, and then all they had was a bronze living statue version of Ghostface, and then you had the go-go dancers who weren't really Ghostface related; they were just cut up, and then they had basically just Ghostface faces that were illuminated that would swing around in spotlights. That was it. That was not much of a scare zone, but that's what they had.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
Excuse my language, but I'm like, what? All right. I mean, okay. Uh, wait, what? What was the opening ceremony that year? I forgot.
Um, I believe it was clowns again. Yeah, it was definitely clowns. I do remember that because I ran right past them to get to the thing maze. Um, yeah, it was basically just the ringleader going like, "You're either gonna live or you die," and then he flips the coin and goes, "Die!" and then all the chainsaw people run out. All the clowns. That was the opening ceremonies that year.
Oh wow. Huh. All right. That was cool. I really like the opening ceremonies in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, they're really good. So, I mean, most of the time, the Purge one was actually really cool. I enjoyed that. Uh, that was a lot of fun, and every time I went, I literally told my friends, "Oh, this is worth actually watching," because it was really cool seeing all the Purge people all come out, and then the alarms going off, and then they all ran at you. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that looks like fun. I would definitely like. I don't know if I would run, but it'll be really cool to see in person. That's for sure. Um. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like in
Do they
Orlando,
not
we just
run?
have people walking, like the gates open. They're like, oh okay,
Is
guys,
that
it's
what
open.
is that
Go.
what it's like in Orlando?
Yeah, like recently, they brought back it's well, yeah, they're kind of like opening ceremonies, but they're not how they used to be in the past. Like for example, in
Yeah.
I think it was 16, like the Arrival show. That it played throughout the night, but I think it suited like there was one like right at the beginning of like when the event started, I believe. So that was kind of like the opening ceremony. I think it
Yeah.
was opening night actually, just that night, but
I like the 16 one really quickly that they did in
yeah.
Orlando. That was really cool with all the different icons like
Mhm.
practicing their iconic kills. So I thought
Yeah.
that was really cool. Yeah, Hollywood every year, no matter what year you go, the whole crowd runs. I don't know who started it or just how it's gotten into the mindset of people. I myself, I do run, but not for the same reasons. I just run straight to the mazes, just so I can be not necessarily the first, but early and get through them and
Oh
experience.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no matter what year you go, people run. It's a big thing there. I love Emperor's little comment is like the one thing that Orlando needs to import from Hollywood: go-go dancers.
Yes. Yes. Dude, I'm telling you, we had in our Alice Cooper maze in 2012, which was kind of a disappointment. It was more disturbing than scary, but whatever.
Yeah,
Um, there was one scene in there and where there was this girl stripping on a pole.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, this should.
All right, John.
I'm like,
When I go, I'll take a
Bella.
picture with a go-go dancer for you.
I mean, that'll be cool, but yeah, we'll see. I think that's more. I think that's more Hollywood exclusive in a way.
The go-go dancers.
Yeah.
I don't know when they started. I mean, they've been there since 2006. So yeah, I that's just they've just always been there. I'll have to ask my dad if they've always been there past the 2006 reboot. So,
Mm.
but
Because I know like Hollywood's more like, I mean, both events are, you know, intense in their own ways and like in everything. But like I think, yeah, Hollywood's more like it's more open in the sense that like, yeah, they have the go-go dancers, and then the gore over there is like
yeah,
insane. More insane than in over here in Orlando. They recently started to upgrade with the gore and everything, so
yeah,
that's really cool. Because it adds a shock factor to the and detail to the maze, which is nice. But
yeah.
yeah, like before, like it's not even, you can't even compare uh, like the detail to the ones in Hollywood, because those are vastly more intense and graphic and explicit. So
That surprises me. I'm actually surprised Hollywood, Orlando is kind of less on gore. That they don't really go full gore like Hollywood does. Hollywood, oh my god, you should have seen the Evil Dead maze a few years back. Freaking A. Like that last room, just all red. Like all red. And then you got sprayed, and I know there's that gag, it's just oh yeah, it's a little spritz effect. No, with the chainsaw, you got sprayed. It was
oh yeah,
insane. Yeah, Hollywood goes all out with gore. John doesn't hold back. When we got Hostel as a maze, that was insane. How gory the Hostel maze was. Not surprising considering the film's premise, um, but oh my gosh, yeah, it's really gory in Hollywood.
no, dude, like, and I'm glad you brought that up about Evil Dead, because in 2013 in Orlando's maze, yeah, it was bloody at many points, but it wasn't like so extremely gory, like graphic, you know. Cabin in the Woods was graphic as hell.
Yeah,
It was super graphic. There was one room, literally all that was in that little room was just guts and intestines and body parts everywhere. It
yeah.
was nasty. Well made, but yeah, really nasty.
I really was upset that we didn't get that, but then I guess John felt that Evil Dead was one cabin too much for Hollywood.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
think it.
understand.
I think it would have felt too familiar to Evil Dead, even though that's where it partly gets its inspiration from. But yeah, for the size of Hollywood, I think they were just like, nah, it's too close.
Yeah, I think too that Orlando's kind of doing it. It had a theme to it. The whole Evil Takes Root thing, even though that didn't really make it into the um, actual event, it wasn't really manifested
Yeah,
on there, you know, like barely actually. They just had the entrance with the vines and the roots extending up the archway, which is really cool. But then after that, yeah, everything was Walking Dead that year in the sounds.
yeah,
They had the tree and root projections on the buildings, which is cool, but still, like, you know, you didn't
yeah. I
feel the
didn't
Evil
see
Takes
that.
Root thing. It was just Walking Dead, you
See,
know.
that didn't make sense. Actually, the whole premise of that year didn't make sense. Evil takes
Yeah.
root. It's just like, what exactly is taking root again?
No, and I was excited when they first revealed the website. I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" It's like the theme, the setting is like these dark woods, and there's evil, you know, dark things in there. And
Yeah,
um, uh, how is it? And then the face on the in the sky, which I thought was gonna be like an icon, but it ended up not being anything.
yeah.
So I was like, "Wow, I'm disappointed."
When I first saw it, I thought it was fear related. To be fair, like something to do because if you look at Fear's body himself, it's just like very, it's very spiny, and he looks like a tree almost. He looks like Groot.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Mhm.
So that's what I first thought. Like it was something related to fear, but no, it just wasn't anything. It was just Yep, Roots. The scary. You're afraid. You're afraid of my root.
they're gonna rape you like me. Oh god. No, like no, like originally, even Dr. Jamie mentioned it. It was gonna be like I think the whole park or some several sections of the park were gonna be um like in this forest, yeah, these
Yeah.
woods, and they're gonna be like these tree monsters that were gonna come alive and attack people. That really sounded awesome. And like these wood spirits as well. Interesting, but that fell through because we gotta have them walk us.
Gotta
Waka
have
waka
them
waka.
Walking Dead. Waka waka.
But yeah. Okay, so back to Hollywood.
Yep.
All right. So I finally found on the page on here on H&M on the page. I found the the post by Murdy on the name game 2.0.
Yeah.
You want to go through them real quick to see?
Sure.
Okay. So the first thing he says here, okay, the code name for maze number 3 is name game 2.0. I'm going to give you 4 hints that, if you solve them, reveal 4 names. The 4 names in and out of themselves are not hints to the maze, but connected together, they reveal the ultimate hint to the maze. Follow so far? Okay. If you solve these 4 hints and find the 4 names, you have to figure out the connection between them. Thus, name game 2.0 is born. I know, it's evil. Yeah, very evil. Okay, so hint number 1, the first name of a member of a famous boy band. This isn't too obscure, trust me, they were really famous. Um, I've heard like from I think Backstreet Boys or something else. I don't know. I've heard many things. Number 2, the name of a famous Broadway musical. Uh, 3, the name of a significant other of a character in a famous teen comedy. Let's see. Number 4, the name of a band that started in the 1960s that some would characterize as garage rock. Then he starts to post bonus hints. Bonus hint number 1, the boy band member you're looking for shares the same first name as the famous Oakland, LA Raider.
God damn
Number
it.
2, the Broadway musical you're looking for won a Tony Award but has never been turned into a movie, meaning released in theaters. And then I think this is the final one. Loading. Okay. The significant other of the character in a teen comedy is the main character in the film. It's from the 1980s. The garage. Then number 4, the garage rock band from the 60s you're looking for has one of their songs covered by the Ramones. I think that's how you say them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hints.
It's a jackal. It's a jackal.
Yeah.
God damn it, John. Oh, I don't listen to boy band and I don't follow American football. Oh my god, John, you're not making this easy on me. To be fair, this one has me thrown a loop. I am still looking into it, but I'm not gonna really, really see any luck at actually solving this one. That's the thing with John. I like his hints because by the time they actually reveal what they were, I always laugh to myself. I'm like, I was totally nowhere close to that. But yeah, I mean, name game. It could be just I'm giving these clues, but it's actually name game American Horror Story, which will be exclusive to Hollywood. I don't. I mean, like I said, Jessica Lange sings the song in season 2 of Asylum, American Horror Story. Whether that is what it is, I don't think so. Well, I'm kind of like 50-50 on that. It's really just. God damn it, John! I can't say that. I stress that enough. Yeah, I mean, Name Game 2.0 is one I will be looking forward to finding out what it actually is in the end.
I think we, I think that goes for all the code names every year.
Oh, basically. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Especially as out of the box uh clue. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. That that's actually the next topic.
Oh,
So
brilliant.
let's just let's go into that. What do you think this could be?
Doctor Who. It has to be Doctor Who. No. Um all joking aside, that actually did pop into my mind as kind of out there as it is. I've got it up here on my computer and I'm actually looking at it. It says just about finished writing the next maze treatment, the out of the box one I mentioned earlier. Pitches next week. Tick, tick, tick. Which yeah, is basically time. Out of the box, yeah, it's but saying that, and I must give credit where credit's due. Someone called Saline911 on Twitter said, I think it's time for a new Soul Maze. Just a thought from a long time attendee, 8 years in a row. A Soul, yeah, it sounds like it could be something like Soul. Out of the box. I mean, there's a lot that can relate to that. I mean, a few of the traps involve boxes, especially in like Saw 5 with Hoffman's self trap and tick tick. There's always a time limit to the traps. So I mean, I'm like, oh yeah, that could be cool. See Saw come back for a year. Um, I mean, Saw was gone. I mean, I actually enjoyed the 2010 one. I believe it was 2010. Uh, both the Soul Mazes were really cool. Game Over and Game On. I thought they were both really good. So yeah, but weirdly enough, my brain did go to Doctor Who, but I know that's probably not what it is.
I was actually watching Doctor Who the other day. Uh, I was watching this episode. That's one of the newer ones.
Yeah,
Not the one with the the latest Doctor, the new one.
yeah.
But what was his name?
Matt
Matt?
Smith.
Was it like Matt or something?
Matt Smith. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. There we go. Matt Smith. Thank you. Um, it was that episode with the angels, and we're like the Karen Gillan. She was in this
Oh, the Time
containment.
of Angels and Flesh and Stone.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, there we go. Uh, if they have a scene, and I can see like a scene where it's like kind of like that exposure from that maze in 2008 in Orlando, and it's like just flashing lights in the dark, pitch black. Then the freaking yeah, the angels just like it's like all of them are actors, but in every flash they start moving differently, and like maybe they come closer. That'll be really
Yeah.
cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said in previous ones, surprisingly, Doctor Who works well for a horror maze. The silence, the weeping angels, the mummy in the new series 8 reels, and I mean, there's a lot of monsters, classic monsters too. The Cybermen that take brains out of living people and put them in metal suits. I mean, how
Oh, what the hell?
disturbing is that? I mean, there's a lot you could do. Now, I'm not saying it will ever be a maze, but I'm just saying the potential's there for a maze. I mean, I know they did a kiddie version of a maze, Doctor Who maze, back here in UK, and it was a limited run, but yeah, it has a lot of potential to be a good maze. And especially since Universal's into TV and now and that, and I believe Warner Brothers does distribute the uh, BBC DVDs and stuff over in the states. Yeah, I could. Yeah, it has potential there. Like I said, I mean, it probably will never happen, but definitely lends itself really well to one.
Yeah, yeah. I can definitely like from what I've seen, definitely lots of characters that they can use. They use the Daleks. It'll be funny if they just flood one room with like a bunch of Daleks and then just start screaming, ah! Whatever they do. and
Exterminate.
exterminate. And I was like, oh my god, this is ear piercing.
I could see that being more like one of those gags, like the car. You know, like the car gag where it comes out before hitting you and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I think Murdy said, like, I think he either posted it officially, like just like a normal post on Twitter, or he replied to someone. But pretty much I saw him say that this is not your typical, say, horror like ideas or whatever, like say like
Yeah.
slashers or ghosts, stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I mean, Doctor Who definitely fits that criteria. The thing is that what else do you think? I mean, and besides Saw, I mean, the
Yeah.
out of the box thing, like you said, it does make sense.
I actually think it's going to be an original maze, because if you look closely to what John said, he says some ideas pan out, and I think it might have been some crazy out there ideas pan out, and I think it's something that he might have thought would be really cool for maze, but didn't think he could pull off. And I'm actually inclined to believe it's an original maze.
Did he ever state that if it was an IP or not?
No, he didn't.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. It's just very interesting that he said some ideas will pan out. I know a lot of the assumption would be that it's an IP based maze, but I don't think it is, and that's just my opinion. But I don't. It just sounds to me like it's an idea that he's had for a while, but he's never been able to pull off.
Mm. Did he say it got approved or no?
Let me check his Twitter because I'm actually there right now. Just
Okay,
browsing. Let's see.
that's
I
interesting.
he said it was. I think it was. Let's see. I think the lineups. Yeah, because I think this is April 24th. He posted. I think the lineup is pretty much set at this point. Only going to release one more code name for this year. Better keep guessing. So it sounds like it is. Pitching a maze this morning. This is the out of the box one I referenced earlier. Actually, then it is. It's an IP. Okay, it is confirmed. It's an IP because he's pitching a maze this morning. This is the out of the box one I referenced earlier. If this pitch goes well, I'll be at HHN. Yeah, I think you meant.
For original mazes, he doesn't need to pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's an original, unless it's something so out there that he has to talk to the Universal Brass before actually going ahead with it. But
Right.
that's exciting. I'll be interested to see what it is.
Yeah. I really wonder what it could be.
It's definitely interesting. I think that's the one. I think that's the one to watch out for, really.
I think it's gonna be the human centipede.
Yeah, there we go, guys. John just confirmed human centipede. That's it. Illuminati confirmed. So is human centipede.
Oh my god, it was all right. I think it was someone on the last podcast that mentioned it. I forget, but no, it was Barrel Bob. I think it was Barrel Bob. He's like, hey, they should make an unfriended maze.
Oh, God.
I'm like, oh yeah, let's have like people sit down in a room. Like we'll take like an hour turns. The backup for that will be insane. Or just have people like go in there, they sit down, they get on Skype, and then for like 10 seconds they're there, and then all of a sudden there's like scare actors that dress as Laura Barnes. They come behind them like, ah! And then they have to leave. That'll be the best maze ever, 10 out of 10.
I'd love to see that.
They'll save a lot of money too.
True.
Because what else can you do with it?
The budget's limited this year, guys. We're going to have seats, and you're going to sit down, and there's going to be people that appear next to you, and that's going to be one room, and that's our budget for this year. Oh, okay, get to it.
No. Oh my gosh. No, there's going to be several seats in there. and they're gonna sit people down, and in front of them there's gonna be like a like maybe like a TV or like a computer screen or whatever, and then they're gonna have a jump scare, like a video with a jump scare in there, and then they're like, ah, okay, guys, move along, get out. That's it. That's your unfriended maze.
Oh my god, the budget. It's like we had no budget to actually construct a maze, so in this we actually have tent mazes. I know that sounds like we've done that before, but no, we actually went to a sporting shop and bought some tents and connected them all together. That will be our that will be our major maze for this year. And then we're gonna have grizzly people with hatchets that we bought from IKEA for about
IKEA. Yeah, but I'm really interested in seeing what that IP is gonna be.
Yeah. I think with name game that's going to be a big one. It sounds like it's going to be a big maze that they're going to be doing. I hope it does get approved because I'm curious to see what it is. Still secretly hoping Trick or Treat comes at some point, but that's just me.
Wait, what'd you say? Trick or treat?
Trick or Treat, yeah.
Oh, that would.
I'm praying for that maze, man. Like, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what name game is. But yeah, let's see what happens when they finally announce. Because I'm gonna probably be pushed back to see what it is. Like when it finally gets announced, it's like, God damn it, I knew it. But then it's just like, ah, so.
Or we'll probably be like, what the hell?
Yeah, seriously.
That's like really out there. Marty meant it. Yeah. Gosh. Okay. So the next point, which IPs do you think will Orlando and Hollywood share?
Oh well,
we're obviously not gonna share The Walking Dead. It's just gonna be Hollywood.
No one will get The Walking Dead this year. I mean, maybe Singapore will get The Walking Dead.
No. Singapore and Japan are gonna share it, and we'll be free of it for 1 year.
just reload it off to Japan and Singapore. I think personally we'll get Freddy versus Jason. I know we've discussed this in previous podcasts, but it's a big IP. It's something that John probably would love to have, and I feel that it's too good of an opportunity not to share it between the parks. I mean, we all got Freddy and Jason and Leatherface in previous years. Why not Freddy versus Jason? This is a big IP, and yeah, I feel this is the one that we're going to share. The other one is actually, I believe, going to be Insidious. Just on the fact that the 2013 maze was so popular. It won Best Maze of the Year from the People's Choice. I think we're going to get Insidious back, probably based on Insidious Chapter 3, which comes out, I believe, July. So it's plenty of time before then. And knowing John, he's probably already seen the film. He's probably read the script already. So yeah, I think Insidious, Freddy versus Jason, and yeah, that's it. No Walking Dead. We just don't mention The Walking
Dead. Yeah, definitely. Like you said, Murdy is not gonna pass up Freddy versus Jason. That's just not gonna happen.
I don't think anyone would forgive him.
Orlando's gonna get it. Hollywood has to get it. Come on.
Yeah, no one would forgive him if he passed it up.
So popular, and two people are like, every year they're like, "Oh, bring back Freddy and Jason! Oh my God, bring back Freddy!" Remember that first? I think it was last year. Yeah, when the night before Walking Dead was announced in the morning, which was such a shitty ass way to announce something. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Stay up all night. Just kidding. We don't. Like they just announced it the next morning. All right. Well, whatever. But it was Like they said, oh, don't sleep. Then people thought, Freddy, Freddy, he's coming back. Ah, people going nuts. Um, so I mean, yeah, like Ernie's not gonna pass that up. And like you said too, brought it up and remember in 2011 before it was going to be Alice Cooper, it was going to be Freddy versus Jason, but then they lost the rights to
Yeah.
Jason.
I'm kind of curious, and I would have wished we had that maze because I'm not a big fan of the Alice Cooper mazes that we got. Um, I'm kind of curious to see what would have been the Freddy versus Jason maze, whether they did early pre-concept art for it or um, yeah, or anything like that. What the story was going to be. I'm kind of curious because uh, I'm I'm even more curious to see what they do for this year for the maze. Especially how big it is and how popular it is. I'm hoping for merch. I want a T-shirt, John. Like,
Yes,
I will never
yes,
forgive Hollywood or Orlando if it's all freaking Walking Dead stuff again. I
bro,
don't.
that shit needs to fuck off. I'm kid. I'm not even joking right now. Excuse
That
the
that's
language, but
sorry
that
guys
really
for the
pisses me off.
angry, but it's true.
Recycle.
I'm looking at my pins right now, and I have 2012 as The Walking Dead, 2013 is The Walking Dead, and I got an Orlando one that's point freaking Walking Dead. What the fuck is that? I got my window open. What the fuck is that? Did you guys even hear that? That was what the hell? Okay, I've
I
got my
thought
own
it was
horror
a
movie
cat, and
going
then I
off
thought it
here.
was like.
It sounded like the wail of someone dying, like a banshee's outside my window. What the hell? Okay, guys, this
Are
podcast
you
just
hiding
turned
someone?
into
Did you kill someone, David?
unfriended. Yeah, I killed someone apparently, and they've come back to haunt me. Oh,
Oh
it's this podcast is turning into unfriended.
god. Laura Barnes.
But yeah, that is a big point. I think just stop with the Walking Dead merch, or at least limit it to maybe one piece of merch because
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
done. I have a 2012 jacket that's a zombie jacket. I've got freaking T-shirts that have The Walking Dead all over it because I'm a sucker for HHN merchandise. I buy everything, but it's oh my god, I have so much Walking Dead stuff. I'm like, no, no more. I see. Back in 2013, I wanted an Insidious shirt, but nope, we didn't get one.
And then, you know what's funny? In 2013, we had American Werewolf in London, in Orlando, but we didn't get a shirt. The next year, we got a shirt. I'm like, what? What the heck?
That doesn't make sense
It's
at
like,
all.
wow, late, late.
A bit late on that jump.
Yeah.
I think the merchandise. I want to know who's doing the merchandise for Horror Nights because it's getting ridiculous. They're oversaturating the merch with The Walking Dead. And don't get me wrong, I like The Walking Dead, and I would love a Walking Dead shirt, which is what I've got. But I don't want it all to be The Walking Dead. I think that's
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this is Halloween Horror Nights, not. And I think someone on the podcast, one of our commenters on our comment wall posted. It just seems to me it's AMC's The Walking Dead presents Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, like that's pretty much what it is, especially in Hollywood, dude. It's like
Yeah.
insane. It's yeah, oversaturation, over. It's just everywhere.
Yes. Emperor just posted.
Dominating the event is look a maze, a scare zone, the terror tram,
Yeah, it's
merchandise,
the backlot.
the backlot. There you go. The backlot, the ads, the marketing, and it's the main promotional property out of all of them. It takes over the commercials. It's like, oh my gosh, like
I,
is it a break?
you remember Horror Nights when you used to have advertising that involved all your major maze characters? Pepper Ridge Farm remembers. I agree with Emperor. I want Insidious and Freddy vs. Jason shirts this year.
Yes.
If we don't get Insidious this year and you guys get Insidious shirts, I am paying someone, if maybe Neil or yeah, probably Neil because he's going, but I will pay someone to get me an Insidious shirt because I want one so bad. I love that film franchise. I want merch from it. And the only merch I have that I got from Horror Nights that's Insidious related, apart from obviously the Maze shirts, was actually the cool thing is with John, he likes doing this Twitter. You guys who are watching the podcast might know this. Um, he does this Twitter challenge. So you go up to this character that's placed in that specific outside the front entrance of that specific maze. For us in Insidious, it was Specs and Tucker, and they were really good, by the way. They looked and sounded the part, and you gave them every night. John would release a Twitter password, and you told them the password, and they would give you a really cool gift. In this case, it was a Specs and Tucker um, business card that had Elise Rayner's name on it and had their phone number and stuff. Spectral Sightings, I believe it was called, which is their business in the film. And I still have it. And I'm like, I just want more stuff. I want an actual Maze shirt, which is just really cool.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
I
They.
mean, that's a
No. Yeah. Like. I don't like. Look, they're obviously still gonna have well, the Walking Dead merchandise,
yeah.
but like, what I want is that they lay off theming the house shirts on The Walking Dead because yeah, it's just like seriously, it's too much.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm still taken aback by how much they tried to push that on the merchandise. Um, it's just it's really crazy. I'm just hoping this year, and I really am. I'm hoping that they kind of tone down the Walking Dead merch and kind of go all out with all the different mazes. Especially if we get Freddy versus Jason, I would love a Freddy versus Jason shirt.
yeah.
Just how much I love those characters. Um, but I mean, I have a Michael Myers shirt from 24 last year, which I love. I love that shirt. I wore it for Halloween. Um, and I would love something similar to that, just Freddy versus Jason related.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Um, I think Orlando. Yeah. Freddy versus Jason. Sure. Sidious will be cool. You think they'll do a like a Scream shirt or something like that?
It wouldn't surprise me. I could see that happening, and I can kind of imagine what it would look like. I would think it'd be like the poster art almost of just the knife, but with his kind of like the kind of version for Scream 4, just with the knife and Ghostface's face in it.
Right. Oh, well, yeah, I like that. That's a really cool design. I like it. Um, but yeah, I definitely want to see a separation from The Walking Dead, at least
Yeah.
something. Because seriously, it's just too much. But we'll see. So yeah, Freddy versus Jason, hands down. That's gonna be shared. Walking Dead again. Do you, here's a question. As for Insidious,
Yes.
if if Insidious comes back to Hollywood, do you think that they'll base the maze on like what they did in 2013? They had scenes from the first and the second movie, but then just add in scenes from the third film, or do you think the maze will be just solely on the third film? Because Orlando is most likely going to be based on the three films.
Yeah.
But what about Hollywood?
I would think it would probably be based on number three, only because John has already done one and two together in one maze. Um, However, I wouldn't mind seeing a return to the first two films because I love them so much. Maybe start with Insidious Chapter 3 and make your way in chronological order. So start with Insidious 3, then Insidious 1 and 2. Um, I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. But I think for Hollywood, I think the way John would do it is probably just base it completely on Insidious Chapter 3. And the only reason I say that is because back in 2012, when we got The Walking Dead for the first time, they did season 1 and 2 together, and then they did season 3 right after, just completely based on season 3. So I'm pretty sure John will do that. He will just base it completely on Insidious Chapter 3, which I don't mind, but it would be cool to have all three of them in the same maze. But I think that for Hollywood, especially space wise, I think that'd be pushing it.
Yeah, I mean, if they still have, they probably do still have like the sets and props, yeah, from the original maze, so we can reuse them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they probably would do that. I mean, Hollywood has a track record of reusing sets and props, so they might. They might actually
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, we'll see.
We saw that with prison, so.
Yeah. So, do you think that we'll just share like? Well, I mean, I don't think Scream's gonna come back to Hollywood after what happened.
No, I don't. It wasn't popular even on the survey, so I don't think it would.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I think right now I think we're just looking at three IPs that we're gonna share them. Most likely.
Yeah, I think the major ones would be The Walking Dead, Jason and Insidious, which leaves us open to what is going to fill the gaps for the rest of the Hollywood mazes.
Yeah, that's a good question. What other IPs do you think might show up at a?
See, there's the rub. It's hard to tell, really. I'm guessing we'll probably get at least one original maze, maybe two if we're lucky, because we don't get that many original mazes. Hollywood has this track record of mainly being an IP run event, whereas Orlando has had a lot more original mazes, even when it became more like kind of oversaturated with IPs like Hollywood does, but it still had that balance of more and original concepts. But I think with Hollywood, we'll probably get at least one, or if we're lucky, two original mazes. So that's about 4, 5, and I believe we're getting 7 mazes this year. I've heard rumors that we're getting 8, but nothing confirmed on that. But I think as for the other IPs, it's really hard to tell because John keeps dancing around with the hints. He's not really clear on a direction. So it's really hard to pinpoint what he could do. I'm guessing it'll probably be something related to modern horror. I'd like to think, and I've had this feeling for a while, and again, at this point, it's just a feeling, but I think we're going to see something with the classic Universal monsters.
Oh yeah,
In some way.
definitely.
I mean, like I said, there's no solid evidence for that, but I mean, I get this feeling because it is the anniversary. I feel that uh, that we'll probably get something related to the classic Universal monsters, especially seeing how big a fan John is of them and how much it's impacted his work.
Right. Yeah, that'll be nice. And yeah, expected from him to do something with the Universal Classic Monsters.
Yeah.
Especially if this is his last year, which leads us to our final point. Um, you brought it up, David. You mentioned it in Ora Masapalooza. Was it in March? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, he probably, I think, he did slip, and said that yeah, it could be his last year. So,
Yeah, I'll bring up the exact quote because I know someone on HHN Fanboys video said in response to that, they said, "Well, I think he's relating to the last 10 years, but it's the way he said it." Let me try and find the video. He said, while it's loading, while my computer's going really slow right now, so I do apologize. He did say the way he said it is like this will be our last 10 years of us doing this. Let's see.
Yeah, because like I was thinking too, like
Oh, here we go. I've got it. Let me
uh,
say.
okay, no, like I was thinking too that
The last, yeah, he says we'll be talking about the last.
the last
Um,
10 years. So I was
yeah,
like,
but if you notice in the video, he actually quickly switches his tone. I'll play it again just really quick. Sorry.
okay,
Yep. See, I don't know if you guys heard that correctly. He says we'll be talking about the last. He says that specific, like that is a very specific wording. It doesn't say our last. It says the last. Um, but I mean, he has talked about it. I think he's made up his mind. To be fair, I think it does. With he's got a family now with 2 kids, and I wouldn't blame him if he moved on.
yeah.
Um, Oh, really quickly, I'll answer this Emperor's spot. Where would Hollywood even put 8 mazes with the House of Horrors gone? Well, if going by what they've had, I think that they'll probably utilize maybe one more soundstage near the backlot, but I think otherwise, again, it's just rumors. I don't think they'll be able to fit 8 mazes, 7 at the most, and there's only certain parts that they can put 10 mazes. So I don't think we'll get 8 mazes. I think it will be 7. But yeah, sorry. I feel that yeah, I think this will be John's last year as creative director, and he's had a really good run. If he does leave, he's had a fantastic run. He's been a great creative director. He's great with fans. Had the privilege of meeting him a couple of times, and I'm happy that to see what he does next. I can't wait to see what he's doing with the backlot tour, and I hope this year will be quite the big event to go out with. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna be missed because he like like you said, he's brought in so many cool properties and he yeah. If it wasn't for him, really, I mean, maybe Halloween Horror Nights Story in Hollywood wouldn't have rebooted.
yeah, I
At
would
least
be flying out to you guys instead of going to Hollywood.
at least in 2006. But yeah, definitely, it's been great. Um, so who do you think can replace Murdy as creative director?
That's the thing. I mean, we're not very privileged to know most of the creative team. We do know offhand Chris Williams, and I know some people said that they would like to see Chris take up the job as creative director, but I feel that the way um, John said this will be our last. I think that Chris is probably stepping down as lead designer for Horror Nights, but um, I whoever they get, I I will reserve judgment. Obviously, John's left a huge impact on the Hollywood event. Um, but I think regardless who they get, I think they'll do a really interesting job though. And I've said this in my video before about John leaving. I think whoever it is will leave like how John has leave their own mark on Horror Nights and bring their own kind of traditional flair. Maybe they'll be better than John. Maybe not. I mean, that's always a gamble right there. But we'll if John does end up leaving at the end of the year, I think we'll all miss him because he's just fantastic.
Yeah, really interested to see who takes the spot. I hope he or she, I don't know, brings a lot of creativity
Yeah.
to the event, as well as really awesome IPs to enjoy. So
It's like when Michael Roddy left. I mean, we got. I think both of them have done really well, and I'm hoping we get someone just as good to follow up John when he passes down the torch.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay. Let's see. Do we have any other comments or questions on the YouTube thing?
If you guys want to ask us anything, feel free to post a comment, and I am constantly updating the page. So, yeah, I'll try to answer to the best of our abilities. Uh, Both me and John will have a look and discuss your questions.
Let me see.
So, John, just while we have wait for possible questions, so what is your favorite maze that you've ever been through? Just out of curiosity.
Um, well, this is a really easy one. Really, Halloween definitely is my favorite.
Wow, it's a
Uh,
fairly recent one too.
yeah. No, it's just amazing. I was mind blown. 100%. Like, wow. It was special. It really was. No, but apart from Halloween, definitely American Werewolf in London. That's my second favorite. Um,
Best original maze, then. Let's
best
go.
original. Okay. Let's see. Gee, there's so many. I mean, I liked in 2009. I mean, they're based on IP characters and whatnot, but I really like what they did with Dracula, Dracula Legacy and Blood, and
Yeah, that was really good.
Frankenstein Creation of the Damned. They were like Frankenstein was like a steampunk. It's like a new vision wrapped around the steampunk idea, which is really cool. And then Dracula Legacy and Blood was taking the Universal Classic monster Bela Lugosi, but then wrapping him around the historical background of of Dracula, which is Vlad the Impaler. Which
Yeah,
is that was an awesome maze. Both of them were, so they're definitely up there. Um, Leave It to Cleaver was that's my favorite comedy original maze. It was gory, disturbing, but it was funny too because it had a whimsical like a kind of like a dumb
like
aspect
Texas
to it.
Chainsaw Massacre, if it was a comedy.
Yeah, it was like yeah, pretty much. So that I really liked. That was a really cool house. Um,
Micro
well,
just
yeah, I mean,
posted, "Do you want to be in pictures?" And I thank you, Micro, because I love the director. He's my favorite icon.
oh yeah. uh, yeah, I mean, um, I can go on and on about other favorite mazes, but pretty much yeah, those three are definitely up there. What about you? Like what you said the Asylum was your favorite
No,
from Hollywood?
my all-time favorite maze is The Thing Assimilation. At that point, I had never gone through something that I thought this had would terrify me, and it did. And the costumes were just amazing. I mean, the autopsy scene alone was just fantastic. I love the 1982 film, and even though it was based on the prequel, I still love the idea of being set in that universe and just being trapped with this horrific creature. And that was the first time Hollywood really had any kind of like full-on creature suits. Um, so definitely The Thing. As for The Asylum, it holds a very special place in my heart because that was the first maze that really got me into Horror Nights. That was the only, really, apart from the House of Horrors, was the only maze at Hollywood at the time for HHN. So the Asylum does hold a special place in my heart. Second favorite, though, Um, Probably would have to be not Halloween. Sorry, I never got to go through that, which is my biggest regret. Um, Probably, uh, I'd say The Walking Dead 2012. I really like that one. Going through the hospital scene, that was, oh my god, mate, that was just really disturbing. Loved it. La Llorona definitely hands down. We've not had many original mazes, but the La Llorona series would have to be my top favorite original set. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah. I don't know. From the looks of it, from Hollywood, your mazes, they're really cool. They're really um, they had a really great atmosphere to it. Like just hearing the sounds and looking at the visuals and the details, and, the scares and everything. It was really cool.
The nice thing is, Hollywood's a little lenient on filming the mazes, so we actually get to see what they look like. It's just a shame Orlando's not that open for filming, which is a big
Yeah,
shame.
that sucks. But
Because I would love to experience. John, I had the conversation with John actually on Twitter about filming in the mazes, and he was telling me, well, it doesn't capture the feel, and I'm like, well, John, that's really not the point of why we watch it. I watch it to relive my memories of seeing these mazes, and most other people watch it because, well, they never get the chance to experience these fantastic pieces of art, which they are, the great the living pieces of art. Um, so, and I think he kind of understood a little bit for that. I mean, not everyone can afford to go to Universal Horror Nights. And
right.
I think filming the mazes, especially like people like uh, uh, um, suddenly I've totally lost my train of thought. um, but people that do film the mazes, I think they bring a sense of people get to experience them, maybe for the first time, what the mazes are like. So Sharp Productions, sorry, Sharp Productions. My brain just went
Yeah.
totally numb. So I'm really grateful that there are people like Sharp Productions that get to that do film the mazes. So when the year is done, I can look back and just sit back without having to worry about them jumping out at me on both sides and say, I remember when I jumped out of like to the other side of that maze. What and just relive some of my fondest memories of going through them. So
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree, dude. Like, it's great that they that Sharp Productions and like other people too. They they're able and they do record the maces over there because like yeah, like in my case, I obviously can't go yet to uh, Hollywood. Hopefully in the future for HHN, but
yeah,
you know I go to the Orlando one, but at the same time, I'm really curious. I'm really interested in seeing Hollywood's event. So it's nice to see that these people are, first of all, allowed to film in there, and two,
yeah,
that they actually do it. And we see everything, like the mazes and everything, night vision, or even they even recorded without night vision, which is nice, which is good because then you'll be able to kind of see how it really is when you're actually there.
yeah.
Um, so that's good. I like that.
I actually
I appreciate it.
I really like the fact that Inside the Magic managed to get some in maze footage. For 2013, uh, I have them on my computer because I was paranoid that they would be taken down. So I did get to see all the cabin in the woods maze walkthrough, the derailed walkthrough, and urban legend, your guys' urban legends. So yeah, I think they're a great idea for people who've never been through just to see what they're like.
Right. Um, oh, Right. Actually, my one of my other favorite original maces was actually last year's Giggles and Gore Incorporated.
Oh, really?
That was actually really scary, and it was really gory too. It reminded me a lot of Leave It to Cleaver, which
Hmm.
is great. I like that, but in its own the very similar concepts, but like yeah, like, it was scary and like the clowns and how they did everything was really cool. I like that one a lot.
I think my parents really liked uh, what was it? Oh, Roanoke. They really liked Roanoke.
Rona, yeah, I like Rona. Yeah, yeah. Um, when I always said it was gonna be really, like old school, he didn't mean it because like there's not many uh, scares and where they come out like the actors come out and there's like a special effect like a or a light or something or a sound. They just come out
Yeah,
and scare you. So, but I like that. I really didn't find that as an issue. But yeah. There's a question here. Alex Lassiter, I think that's how you say it. Do you think that the run maze is going to be the extreme maze this year in Orlando? No. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be in disaster queue, and they filed it for a permit for it. It's actually talks going back actually to linking into Fast and Furious. There's talks now that Fast and Furious might actually go there, and so if they don't, if they start to tackle it now, um, then we might not have that maze location anymore for disaster. Um, Vic actually, Dr. Emmett Brown one. He said that he heard that there's like markers already over at disaster, so that could be an inclination there that the signal that there might that maybe disaster might not be used this year for a house, but we'll see. Um, as of now, it is, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know, but I don't think run will be an extreme maze. I think it'll just be another normal maze. But I can see it being how as an extreme maze, especially if it deals with like chainsaw wielding maniacs and stuff like that. That'll be really scary. But yeah.
I think Emperor just posted, I'm going to HHN for my first time Columbus weekend. Let's get a selfie with caretaker. Well, congrats on your first time going to Horror Nights. I think you're going to really love it, Emperor. I mean, I remember my first time, I was a big chicken. I had to literally be pushed through the mazes by my parents. Um, and it wasn't until later, especially going back in 2007, I don't know what force on earth like made me go back for 2007, but I did, and I ended up really enjoying it. I think I got more comfortable with it. And it was a lot more fun. So I'm really excited to see if you can next time we podcast after the event that you join us and let us know how you enjoyed it, how much you enjoyed it, or if you didn't. I mean, either way, I'm curious to know your thoughts.
Yeah, that's cool. Sephiroth, you're gonna like it. You're really gonna like it.
You've got a good year to go to Freddy
Oh
versus
yeah,
Jason and
definitely.
Insidious. I think you're gonna really
Uh-huh.
enjoy this.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all the questions, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool. All right, so you want to wrap it up?
sure. We covered a lot on Hollywood today. I've really enjoyed this podcast. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, uh, like and comment as well. Um, Make sure to check out David and his channel, Crazy Englishman. He has great content, guys. So uh, Make sure you check him out and subscribe to him. Also, check me out, Psycho Massacre Films. Then check out the other individuals, the members of the group. And also follow us on Twitter and like our Facebook page. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. All the links to all of the profiles and Facebook and all that stuff is down in the description box below, so you have it there. But yeah, guys, again, thanks for watching, and yeah, more podcasts will be coming down the road. We're in May already, so I'm thinking that there might be a Mace announcement, maybe down like later this month. Do you think?
I'd say closer to probably mid-May or at the end of May. We'll probably get our first May's announcement.
Yeah, I hope so. That'll be so.
And I'm hoping for both Orlando and Hollywood because I really want to see what Hollywood's getting this year.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'll see you guys later then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.